Neon lights, neon lights. Hey, dancing with my demons, do the dash me out of sight. Run it up, secure the bag.
Hello, and welcome to the SoulInsights podcast, episode 2. I'm Chiron and Loxton, joined by
Kyle.
And today's main topic is
Icks and red flags and that kind of stuff.
and turn-offs, if you class turn-offs.
Yeah, you can include them, yeah.
But first, a lot of new music dropped recently. So what do you reckon? I'll just list it off?
Just go as you wish, because I haven't listened to any of this.
So I'll say the music artist and the album, and then my favourite song off the album, and see what you think. Yes? Yes. Chase & Status, what came before album? Favourite song, Mixed Emotions, bangs. George Ezra, Gold Rush Kid album, I Went Hunting. FKJ, or French Kiwi Juice, I think he's called. Vincent album, my favourite song, The Mission. Vance Joy, In Our Own Sweet Time album. Catalonia, Motionless in White. Scoring the End of the World album. Sign of Life. Absolute bang!
Headphone morning.
No, that's a sick song. And then, last but not least,
Oh, yeah, so I don't really know any of those. So my one is obviously Logic, as you saw from, or heard from, both last time. So Logic, it's breath control, and not like I've trying to say breathe control. Yeah, basically it's Logic, isn't it? So banger. Yeah.
another one on Final Days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every Friday at the minute.
Exactly. Next week.
Next week?
Next
oh,
week.
Geez, it is, isn't it?
17th of June, so 7 days or 6 days from recording this. So yeah.
Yeah, have to get your verdict on it next time.
Yep. So next time, yeah.
But yeah, I'd say it's quite a bit. I mean, that's a very varied genre of music. That's like metal, electronic, drum and bass. So just go and check out any of them, see if it whatever takes your fancy.
Whatever tickles your pickle.
Right, there we go. Done. Next up.
Right. So we're gonna jump into my, I'll say, recommendation, which this week is a game. Chiron doesn't actually know what I've picked.
9.
I've picked something that's, I'll say, relevant now because it's actually getting a new release, which that might make you realise what I'm talking about now. Last of Us Part 1 remake. Obviously, the original game was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, well good.
A lot better than the second one, I'll say. The second one was all right, but Abby ruined it. And
Oh, damn.
yeah,
I mean, visually...
spoilers, yeah, if you don't know, I might say something dodgy, so...
Well, you said visually the game was pretty insane. And your favourite guy was in it, obviously. One little character that just...
Logic was in there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little cameo that makes it banging.
Good game,
But, yeah, they've decided to remake it for PS5. I'm not really sure why. I don't really know how much more they can do with the graphics, but supposedly it's improved visuals and modernised gameplay. So, because it's a remake, there's actually going to be some... Or I say there's probably going to be some changes to it.
Yeah.
It's not like a remaster where they've just remastered.
Not as good as Saints Row 3 remastered,
No.
where it's just
They've just
buggy.
remastered the game and basically done nothing with it, just improved the performance slightly or the graphics. They're actually...
You'll have to
It's
let me know.
potential for them adding new stuff in, so yeah, it would be worth checking out, but probably not on release because I don't really want to pay 70 quid for a game that I've already played that was out on PS3 and PS4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mad. Milk it. But then they said you have to let me know whenever you're just walking through a wall or something. Just say, oh, remastered.
Every glitch, like, yeah, Saints Row the Third was horrendous
insane.
for it. Yeah, KylesLifeStyle videos, there might be something on there. Other than that, yeah, that's all I've got to say about it, really. Obviously,
Yeah,
I don't want to say
recommendation.
anything about it, because when you want to play it, I think it's September 2nd it comes out.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, when it comes out, give it a go and see what you think of it, pretty much. So,
Okay, so main topic. Seeing as it's been trending everywhere, like it's just, oh my god, it's the most random thing ever.
it's the stupidest thing ever, honestly. I don't see the point.
It's mainly on TikTok, I think, isn't it? So we've just been watching random stuff linked to it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, there's all these podcasts as well talk about it, isn't there?
Sweet.
So,
How do you reckon? We'll go into it where we'll start off the difference between red flag, ick, and a turn off.
yeah.
Yeah? So, list of importance. Red flag would be the...
Red flag's the main thing you need to look out for. The other ones don't matter. Well, they don't matter as
Yeah.
much, do they?
So red flag would just be like absolute madness going on, really.
Yeah,
Like change of behaviour, just controlling and everything like that.
Things that if it happens, like, shit can hit the fans kind of thing, can't it, really?
If you've got quite good mates, they'd probably highlight it before you sometimes as well, I think.
because you might end up turning yourself oblivious to it.
Yeah, if you're on the outside looking in, I think it gets highlighted a lot more.
Yeah. Obviously, you've got yellow flags, which are, I'll say, less important, less kind of... I don't know what the word to use is.
They said it's not as severe as a red flag.
Yeah, not as severe. Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Indicates a problem area that needs to be addressed. So it has been highlighted, but you haven't necessarily... It doesn't need to be like an issue at the minute, but you're obviously aware.
Something that you can do something about to stop it becoming a red flag.
It's more than just wearing your socks to bed. You know?
Although wearing your socks to bed should be a crime.
Yeah. Need to get shot.
Synchronized.
What do we think? Ick. No. Ick.
Turn off and ick. I'd say they're pretty much the same thing. It's just turn off is kind of, I'd say, more sexualized. That's the easiest way I'd put it.
Yeah, I'd say
it's more to do with the actual person, not necessarily something that's a bit more vague or general. It's like, well, yeah, but then you go into things like bad hygiene, bad breath, that kind of thing.
Well, like you said, if you went on a dating profile, your turn off would be the thing that would just make you just go off that person's page.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be a part of them.
Left,
really.
Is it? I don't even know what.
If you're on Tinder, I think it is. God knows about those apps.
But yeah, features personality traits. So that's like bad teeth, or you don't like the way his face looks. I don't know, or her face looks. And then an ick is just
something that's completely pointless, basically.
Yeah.
It's something that's really petty, like you're just being nitpicky kind of thing. Like you have to find a problem with somebody. So obviously they're the best ones. They're the ones we're going to go more into saying about. Like these are our opinions on ones that we found that are absolutely ridiculous. Some of them might be our own as well, but not most of them. If they're our own, we'll kind of like say.
When we do that, are we going straight into this original, the first thing that we said? So I say the story, yeah? Have I got it here? Okay, I found it. Right. This is from a girl we saw or got from Reddit somewhere. He kissed about putting his lips on mine. He would open his mouth really wide and be above and below my lips and then just stick his tongue out straight like a hot dog. It was weird. After a makeout session, my face was sloppy with spit. Not exaggerating, it was gross. He was hands down the worst kisser, but otherwise a great guy.
See what that tastes like?
Well, you did go right.
What?
Giving you like, you know, like condiming me with the whisk. Have you ever seen that clip? And he's like, see what that tastes like? And goes straight in for it. Imagine that, like in the club, like.
It's like people swallowing their mic, sticking their mouth around their mic as much as they can as well, isn't there? Like, why are you just trying to swallow their face?
I just imagine in a club, like you just go with someone, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, let's see what that is. What's the other one under it? Oh, I dated a dude who kissed like this almost. It felt like he would put his lips and whole open mouth over mine and suck inwards with his tongue out. And it started late into our relationship. I wonder why it started late.
Do you know what that is?
He always wanted to do it.
Mate, that's the Dementor sucking your soul out.
Oh, that's fine then, isn't it, if it's Dementor?
Oh, yeah.
Dementor.
Right, I've got a good one, which, it's something that that I've witnessed that just, it's a disgrace as a British person. When somebody warms their tea up in the microwave, your nice cup of tea goes cold, you just drink it, you just deal with it, don't you? Or you tip it away, I suppose, but you do not warm it up.
Nice little radioactive.
Honestly, it's like warming your pizza up in the microwave the next day. It's just wrong, isn't it?
Just putting your head in a microwave, isn't it? Oh no, TGF.
Yeah, exactly. Cement your head in a microwave.
Didn't even think of that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the worst one I can think of, honestly.
Okay, let's do.
Go on then.
What should we do? Chasing after a ping pong ball. It's just never okay for anyone. Imagine just hitting off the side, you see it bouncing away, and you see him trying to catch it.
The awkward moments where you're like hunched down and you're swinging your arms at the floor trying to grab it, and you just can't get it, and you're just forever going, aren't you?
Good.
Honestly, the amount of times I played table tennis or ping pong in school as well, and probably did that and looked like an absolute mong.
Walking angrily in flip-flops.
See, flip-flops are just...
You really pissed me off today, and you just start doing a little flip
You can
flap
just
noise
imagine
away.
you can hear the...
Like
on the back of the feet.
fast and aggressive. You're like chasing after you in the dark. All you hear is that
my
getting closer.
God. Mate, I've got one. Something on TikTok. This is the stupidest thing I've heard, and one of the comments was absolutely banging. When men walk down hills, yes, yeah, you could say the same about women, I suppose, but of course it was a woman saying this, so she wasn't going to say that, was she? But you know,
It's a little stance, isn't it?
oh yeah. One of the comments was, "I've been stuck at the top of the hill for 7 months. Please help."
Oh, you get help and you just have to just start levitating to them. Unless you're in a helicopter, I guess you can't be with them.
Yeah, but then it'd be something like, "Oh, climbing into helicopters is my ick." Just can.
It's probably pollution or something, isn't it?
Good. Honestly.
Let's have a look.
Pressing the button on a crossing, yeah?
Oh,
Pressing
yeah.
the button
I'm waiting
on a
for
crossing.
him to be green.
Yeah, so just
I saw that.
imagine, I'm just going to think, screw it, I'm just going to walk out into traffic, because that's the best idea, because, you know, I don't want to be an ick. I don't want to press that button. Or stand there and wait for somebody else to come along. You could be stood there for like 20 minutes just waiting for somebody else to want to cross the road.
Speaking of that, there's a person who gets an ick in case you get hit by a car, what your body looks like on the floor. Or just boss the car that hits you. Ah.
At that point, you might not care because you might be dead.
I just like, nah, you just get a photo shoot mangled on the floor, isn't it? I'd rock that. Give me the
my God.
roadkill vibes.
It's like that, the video of the person, the car going really fast, and then the person tries to jump over it, and they flip a million times, and their shoes fly up in the air.
Oh, I don't know.
my
Yeah, that's
God.
it, isn't it? That says, do you want them to get run over?
Exactly. Right, so running up the stairs on all fours.
Oh, yeah. That's that. Yeah,
That's
as a
like-
kid, like, that was
exactly,
a go-to,
but you
wasn't it?
just fly up the hill, or it's like coming down the stairs on your ass, like when you bounce down each step, like dunk, 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 dunk.
Or
dunk,
falling
dunk.
up the stairs like an absolute
When you
moron.
yeah, exactly. Oh, at my old job, there was one step that was slightly higher than the rest, and everybody would trip up it. Everybody that was walking up the stairs, and then you get to the top, and they'd be like, "Oh, that step's a little bit higher, isn't it?" It was old people that was always saying it, so that's the voice. Going into that one, what's another ick? Oh, when people use high, like baby voices, wasn't it, or something like that?
Baby voices.
Yeah,
oh,
like-
whiny voices.
Oh,
sort of thing.
people are talking like this.
Oh. But then you could do that as like a controlling thing, isn't it? Like, say if you went to a party or something and the girl doesn't want to be there anymore, so they want you to go, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I don't like
ridiculous.
anyone here. You want to leave? Oh. And then what's lads standing naked, waiting for the shower to heat up.
Oh yeah, good. Just get in when it's cold, yeah. Just
Just-
go and stand under there.
Just T-posing, waiting
just
for the
literally-
shower, like just waiting for it to warm up. It's fine.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah. Top notch. Acting behaviour.
Oh, there's one where it's smacking your head in public but not turning around to see what you smacked your head on. You just carry on walking like an absolute nutcase.
Do you know what that takes me back to?
What?
In middle school. Do you remember? We were all stood by the little basketball hoop thingy, and I won't say names, but somebody just full on lobbed an apple and it dapped me in the back of the head. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, I just felt a massive smack on the back of my head and just juice fly everywhere. And I turned around and I was like, what is happening? I was like, oh, I was just been
like
dapped in the back of the head by
someone-
an apple and it exploded on my head.
No, you got like a detention, wasn't it, throwing like mushy banana at someone and went in all their hair and stuff, and you had to like dobbed in.
It wasn't mushy banana, it was a bit of a chocolate bar.
Oh,
I lobbed it, it was nowhere near them.
I thought it was
And
mushy banana.
somebody else threw it. It hit her in the eye, and then got after school detention for it.
Good.
Because you know, I just did do it, didn't I?
Treat people nice.
Exactly.
But no, yeah, that. And obviously, if you know you're going down the wrong street and you have to look like, oh, I think I've gone the wrong way, I'll be able to turn around. They just 180
It's
on
like
the
when
spot.
you walk and you're like, if I walked past it, and it's that awkward moment of having to turn around and walk back, especially like, say you've just walked down the path, you've overtaken somebody.
I'll just 180. I
Nah,
generally would.
you just carry on. You just admit defeat. You just carry on
Even in
walking forever.
A busy crowd. Now, you know, I'd be like, I 180. All right, we're going the wrong way. Turn straight back into like human traffic. Like, get out. I'm done.
So where's the red light? Like
Exactly.
red light, green light. God, why did I say that?
Red
Squid
light, green
Games.
light. What's the other Rick that we saw? Oh, trying to merge into traffic
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
not letting you.
When you try and turn it into the motorway or something, and the traffic won't let you, and you're just like stuck there. It's like, yeah, just can't do something about that, can't you?
So these are Icks.
Yeah, exactly. That's absolutely pointless.
It's so random. I don't get it. I mean, height seems to be quite a big one, doesn't it? I mean, they said one where, what was it? If you get in someone's car and they have to adjust the seat forward, and I said, well, if you're adjusting the seat, it has to go backwards. If it's going forwards, I'm out the car.
Yeah, the problem is if you get a lanky bastard like this guy,
yeah, it's always
and then you get somebody
back,
who's like 5 foot coming in afterwards, and you can't actually reach the pedals. You're just screwed, aren't you? Really? Somebody else drove my car, and I got in and did not even realise they'd moved the seat. I just got in the car and started driving, and I was like, yeah, this is normal.
Well, I think
isn't it? And then I got told, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't even notice.
Well, one rapper, I think, said, when you get like a Lamborghini or something, I think it's a one-size-fits-all. So if you're lanky, I've got my knees up to my head. If I ever drive one.
If you're short, you need some bricks to be able to reach the pedals.
I have to get one to test it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. When the podcast lifts off, and we've got millions of viewers,
I wouldn't drive
millions of listeners, he'll be driving his Lamborghini,
Speaking of small people, there was one, I think, when you go into a bar and you see like your legs dangling off the bar stools. It's not.
Yeah, it's
it's
just
short
stupid
person.
stuff, honestly.
It's the height needs to be like a massive one, to be fair. Like you said, if you're under 6 foot, I feel sorry for you.
I'm under 6 foot.
I'm
Thanks, Kyron.
Only
sorry. Just.
I'll send a prayer for you.
Yeah. Add me into your nighttime prayers. Yes.
Well, they say when we go to festival, just say you're over 6 foot. It's fine. Get some little socks in your shoes. Just put a thing on your forehead that says I'm over 6 foot. That's your first thing you say. What's your name? I'm over 6 foot. That's probably get you further, isn't it?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I don't really.
Things, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like, I don't know how long that would probably last. I guess it seems to be like what turn-offs were when we were in school, though, because turn-offs seemed to be a big thing, weren't they? Yeah,
but it's like, you could say you're ick. You saying about height then. I suppose this can be a turn-off as well. You saying, when he's under 6 foot, that's an ick. So I could turn around and say, when she's over 60 kilograms or 10 stone or whatever, like, and then all of a sudden you cause uproar because they're like, oh, you called her fat. Oh, you can't be like that.
Shaming,
oh.
no.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're height shaming. It's like there's nothing I can do about my height unless I go into some weird like Roman torture chamber and they put me on the stretching board.
Even that's a couple centimeters, I think.
At least, exactly. Or you go up into space and you grow or shrink or whatever. It's like, just can't afford the millions to go there.
Exactly.
I think it's grow. I think they say you grow when you go to space.
Oh, right.
I wonder if that's in different areas.
That's the new thing. Space in the Lambo, that's the new thing, isn't it? One size fits. There we go. Do you reckon that's all we...
Nah, I've got my one, which I speak from experience, which this actually pisses me off. And it's not an ick. I think it's a turn-off. Not turn-off. It's a red flag because it's like they're trying to like silence you. When you're happily talking and mid-conversation, all you hear is shh.
Oh my God. That
getting shushed, yeah? You're just happily talking, all of a sudden like, shh, I need to talk, or shh, there's something happening. Like, you're trying to talk in the middle of like a background TV show, shh, because you need to hear what's happening. It's like, just piss off, nobody cares.
A little dog, isn't it? Just
exactly.
Come here, boy, come here.
It pretty much is, isn't it? Yeah. And unless that's some sort of like kink and you want to be like, come here, boy.
What's it called, domination.
Getting shushed, because you are basically being silenced. You're not allowed to speak your opinion or like say anything because you're just getting shushed mid-sentence and it makes you feel like you can't speak, you can't say anything. Something that's pissed me off with some people in the past, but
see, I don't know if I've had like a nick from experience. I guess like you'd understand where like there's a certain part where, say, if you've met someone, then all of a sudden something just snaps in your head, like what's going on?
It's those things where it's like somebody mentions it to you and you can't like unsee it, you can't unimagine it.
So it's like people eating loudly.
People eating loudly, you don't notice it, but then all of a sudden somebody points out like, they're chewing quite loudly, aren't they?
Loud,
and then all of a sudden it's so annoying and you just get so annoyed by it.
It's like an afterlife, isn't it? They're crisps, they're crunchy. Eating like a fucking slug. That's banter.
The entire system behind this whole thing is flawed. Like, why do people make such a big deal out of it? It's like if somebody wants to wear socks with their trainers or doesn't want to wear socks with their
Yeah.
trainers. Who cares? Like,
It's probably because it's so
it's not
random
mad.
that it gets all the attention, isn't it? And then obviously if you get paid from it, then I guess.
well, yeah,
that's where it all
exactly.
goes,
It's
isn't it?
exposure, and it's the views. That's why we're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to hop on a trending topic, haven't
Yeah,
you?
exactly. But then obviously we give our opinion and we say how
Yeah.
stupid it is. Like, people are
I
like,
would
"Oh
s-
yeah, these are so fun, these Icks,"
I
and
would
we're just
say,
like, "They're so pointless."
If I was in school, I'd find them a lot more funny, I'd imagine, isn't it? Like, you're that sort of age,
Yeah.
I'd say. I don't know, when we're kind of, don't know, we're not really old, are we? But
Mid-20s,
I'd say, like, red
yeah,
flags
it's
are the
like-
more, like, mad ones I would always be aware of.
You,
isn't
well,
it?
yeah,
Icks
when you
are
actually
just
need to
banter.
be, you need to be careful of things.
Yeah.
Things actually matter. Like, that could royally screw your life up. Those red flags.
But I guess it's some of the relatable ones, isn't it? Say if you had, like, a girlfriend, there was a random ick that you read, and you look, and you're like, she's doing it then. Like,
Yeah.
whilst you're reading it, just make you laugh. Not gonna lie.
Like,
oh my
somebody,
God.
like, you're walking with somebody and they're on their phone and they see, it's such an ick when people walk down hills, and then they just look over at you and
They're
they're
walking
like,
downhill.
He's walking downhill. That's it. We're done. Yeah.
Start
Goodbye. You're
moonwalking
fired.
down the hill, like, something's this.
Yeah, when they're walking down it, if you walk backwards, does that count as walking up a downhill? Or walking down an uphill? Or walking backwards up a
Why don't you just-
downhill? Or walking downwards up a buck hill?
Just roly poly down. Just bring like a tractor tire with you. And just roll
Yeah,
right
it'd be like Sonic the Hedgehog, just
down. Yeah, exactly.
flying down the hill, collecting your rings.
Salmon dive down, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sardine
just
dive.
Yeah, sardine dive, yeah. The ultimate FIFA celebration, sardine dive.
Brick full.
Oh, what's an ick? When they have every FIFA sat on their shelf. When you walk into the house and you're just like, oh yeah, she's taking her clothes off. She looks over at the shelf and she's just like, is that every single FIFA? I'm out. Bye.
Nah, you just like, yeah, let's play some FIFA 07. We'll get a banging session on the go.
Mate, FIFA 07 was shite.
I don't even play.
Mate, FIFA 06, that was the one. The
FIFA.
one.
What
That's
was?
my first main experience of FIFA 06, and it was banging career mode.
Like you said, the recent one because the 22 came out, isn't it? That was probably the last time I played one was 13. When we played like
No, it was
relentlessly.
16.
16.
13 or 15. 13 and either 15 or 16
Yeah.
we played a lot, but I never remember playing FIFA 14.
Right.
Anyway, we've gone off a tangent about FIFA for some reason, haven't we?
Yeah.
So,
I think that's the main like sort of Icks, isn't it? Do you reckon we'll do?
yeah, I mean, if you like
They're
this,
awesome.
then we can always do more episodes. We can come up with a load of random ass stuff.
Yeah.
We could even go more into like red flags and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we've kind of touched on it, but we've not really said much in the way of what we sort of examples and that kind of thing.
Oh, we could like. Look, I'll quickly like list off because I didn't do that, did I? Some of these ones.
Go on. Then.
List off
Yeah,
what
yeah,
they
go
are.
on.
So, traits, would you say, of a red flag is overly controlling behavior, lack of trust, feeling low self-esteem, physical, emotional, mental abuse, or substance abuse. I mean, there are probably a few, but I guess they're just a couple.
It's the main way of seeing it, isn't it, really? Like,
it's
you
like
can
that-
tell the major impact from them compared to the little Icks that we were saying. Like, if somebody's got drug abuse,
Yeah.
then obviously it's a major red flag because you might not be able to do anything about it. Then they get abusive and that kind of thing.
Well, it's like anger issues and stuff, like if they punch holes in walls and stuff, isn't it? I mean, that's a bit of a mad sort of flag to look at. It could be
Yeah.
you next, you never know.
Especially if it's something that's, I say, difficult to fix or you can't fix, essentially. Not that everybody needs fixing, but
Yeah.
there's some
But then
stuff
you're in that
obviously you just want to
territory.
avoid it then, don't you?
Where like say if you're a mate looking at it going like, oh, you think it's probably best to leave that, but then
Yeah.
you personally have feelings for that person, so you kind of see them in a different light. But obviously it's hard
I know
territory.
I know, well, I don't know them. I know of them from like people saying to me about some people that have got partners or like people around them that there is major red flags there, but they
Yeah.
don't necessarily or won't accept it and won't see that this person has a red flag, and they just kind of like continue with it. Obviously, the biggest thing's going to be in relationships, kind of thing, isn't it? Where you just
Yeah, I mean the main
where-
thing you could
yeah.
do at the end of the day is just advise them, isn't it? I mean, it wouldn't. How far involved would you want to get?
you
isn't it?
can't
It's quite.
butt into people's lives completely. You can
No.
mention it, and if they don't want to do anything, they don't want to do anything. There's
Yeah.
nothing you can do, is there, really? But you just have to kind of
Yeah, that's what the yellow
mention it
flags,
and then
isn't
leave it up to them to see what they think about it. Yeah, it's all a bit like that, really, isn't it?
Get them
So,
away. Yeah,
But
yeah, definitely.
right, let's go on to the next thing. So we've got our book,
Oh, okay.
our word.
So
Right, whatever this is going to be.
this book, I'll try to state it every time because I'll probably
Yep, you can
credit
say
it.
the name, yeah.
So the book is called The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows by John Koenig. basically was the main influence of Soul Insights.
Link in the description.
Yeah. So you gave me a number before this,
Yeah,
didn't we? 'Cause
2.
otherwise I'm sifting through a book. So chapter 2 is called The Interior Wilderness, Defining Who You Are from the Inside Out.
From the outside in.
You still with me? From the outside.
I understand so far.
Okay, the word today is heart spur.
Chutzpah.
Or heart spur as one word.
Totally know the meaning of that.
An unexpected surge of emotion in response to a seemingly innocuous trigger. The distinctive squeal of a rusty fence, a key change in an old pop song, the hint of a certain perfume, which feels all the more intense because you can't quite pin it down.
So basically, there's something happening that you can't quite figure out what it is, but you like it.
Basically, I did say it like tip of the tongue. Like, you know that certain feeling where you really want to know what it's like, or you know it, but you can't think of it straight away, and you have that sudden like rush of like thoughts coming into your head, like you're trying to cancel everything down to trying to figure it out. I think that's how I thought it was. Just a random word.
You could say in that sense, it's kind of like you're thinking of something that you really enjoyed, but you can't quite think of what it is,
or
sort of thing.
If like someone walks past and you notice the smell of the cologne, and it's from someone like a previous memory of something, and everything flushes back, but they didn't know about it. They just had something that might have linked you to other thoughts.
Right, okay, yeah, I get it, yeah.
It could be stuff like that, I'd imagine. Or like if you had like a song that you used to play maybe in like an old relationship, and loads of these feelings come flooding back.
All of a sudden it plays on the radio or something, you're like, oh my god, yeah.
And all this sudden surge of emotion is just gone. But that was such a like a innocent trigger from the radio to play the song. It wasn't their fault. But obviously it's caused all this mass like emotion on you. So do you reckon? Heart spur.
Heart spur. Yeah, you learn something new every day.
Well, it's a made up word.
Yeah, you learned a made up word, so put it in your English essay.
Yeah.
Probably don't, because you probably fail. They'll be like, what is this word?
They'll be like, you want some hallucinogenics when you do that.
Right, next on the way, we've got a little joke from me, although I'm just going to say 2 because I can't decide which one I want to say. I'll say, the ruder one first, I suppose. What's the difference between a nun at the prayer and a nun in the bath?
What is the difference between a nun in a bath and a nun at prayer? Is it?
One has hope in her soul and the other has soap in her hole. Oh my God.
God's sake, man.
It just reminds me of something I saw about somebody talking about a bar of soap, and they used the bar of soap and stuck it up their butt.
Imagine you just go into like service and you're like, let's see what that tastes like.
See what that tastes like.
No.
Right, and the other one, you know why Jedi stay single?
Because they are Han Solo.
I mean, I suppose that would work, but no, because any fight they use divorce. You know, like the Force, divorce.
Well, there we go. It's a red flag right there, isn't it? Because they probably do mind control to get them there.
It's a red flag at the shit jokes. And
that's an ick.
What's red and bad for your teeth? A brick.
Yeah, that is.
Exactly.
That's what those jokes need. You tell them.
A prick to the mouth, yeah.
That's an ick.
God.
Bad teeth. Oh, my God.
We've got a music recommendation from Chiron now.
Right. So every time we do one of these, we'll do a recommendation, yeah?
Yeah.
And we've just made a playlist on Spotify, which will be linked in the description, called the SI Pod Playlist. And my music recommendation is Play Fight by They. Feet Tinashe.
They.
I think that's how you spell their names.
Yeah. Just getting your pronouns out now. They.
They. They.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really good song. I would say it's a really cool summer tune to play.
I've listened to it once. It's catchy.
I briefly showed it to you going up.
It gets you hyped, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a little like house party vibe in summer. I think that's quite cool.
It does the job, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does the job, yeah. It does what it needs to do.
Yeah.
So check it out.
So on the playlist it goes.
Yeah. So are we done?
I think that's it for this one, isn't it?
Yeah. Like you said, there's probably plenty of like icks and red flags. As like if it keeps being a trending thing, imagine loads of random ones will come out of the woodwork, won't they?
Exactly. Yeah, we'll just keep making notes of everything that we see, and when we feel like we can, if it's wanted as well, then obviously we can go onto it and do another episode, and if anybody has anything they want to tell us that we can include, then of course feel free to do so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, so I think that's about it. We'll just go through, Karen will just go through this a minute.
All right.
So,
You're wrapping this up.
What do you mean?
I said, well, what we're doing, where we're finding everything.
Right, so you can find us on major streaming platforms.
Yeah.
We're just working through it at the moment, so some may be on and some may not, but the main ones, obviously, Apple Podcasts, rather, Spotify, we're on Deezer.
Yes.
And there was one more, Samsung Music, I believe it is.
And Google soon, isn't it?
Soon to be Google, and hopefully a couple others, but we've just got to work out a few kinks and figure out if we can make sure they happen. And of course, YouTube.
And if you're listening to this on an audio-based platform, please give us a rating and review.
Sounding quite desperate there.
That's quite cool to see, though. We got a cool rate. Yeah, but like I said, we get 1 star, it'd be cool.
1 star's good, isn't it? Or is 4-star? Phrase a 4-star.
Oh my
better.
god! Right, give them 1 star because of that comment.
Give me a dislike on the YouTube video.
Right, yeah.
So you can find us on social media platforms as well. Obviously, YouTube say first, which is...
Right, YouTube, Soul Insights.
And then you've got Instagram and TikTok.
The Soul Insights Index.
Twitter.
The SI Index.
And is that it, or is there another one?
No, that is it.
That is it. So, yeah, we're going to leave it there. So, thanks for listening or watching.
And toodaloo. See what that tastes like.